Now I have here these long tools. They are very nice for this job. This one here is the Beta 9XL, number 9 rebay. And this one over here is the Beta 7 rebay XL, just a small thing over there. I like to take them out from the bolt itself. Sometimes it's better. To remove them, you can use the impact. To insert it, not so much. Now looking at this job here seems recent, so probably someone did try to solve this earlier. Let's see what kind of job they did and what kind of parts they used. So for this I decided to do it without taking out here the AC line, because I remember that most of you guys may not have the ability to do that, and for that I showed you how can you do it without removing it. It is not pretty, I know, but it is possible. Also, like I did on a Stelvio, it is crucial that you just finger tight all of the bolts and only then do the final torque. Also, as you could saw, some of the RTV will split up. If you want to, you can, like I said in so many videos about oil sumps, you can redo the thing, no problem. Around 20 Newton meters on big bolts and around 10 on the small ones. There you go. Now to put in the engine oil, I like to wait about 12 hours. You could do it in less, you could do it in minutes if you want to. I like to wait a day, okay? So do your thing, and I continue to do the way that I hope is for the best. Well, it is quite better with a piece of wood. Try to bend it out, and you can still after the first wash I still have a lot of debris inside, so I have to wash it again. Okay, and take out the gasket as well. I can see clearly here a mark of a jack on this point, so someone did raise the car or the engine or something through this point and hurt the oil sump. Also, I have a very bad spot over here, but this spot is not very easy to reach, but I'll try. Okay, try the best that I can. The oil pump being so bad, I ordered a used one, a good used one. They usually are not this bad, and I hope this one is bad because of the debris. And I'm waiting for the... I actually ordered a bunch of them so I can choose the best, so I can assemble this as good as I can. Okay, another thing that I was seeing here, I was recording the Portuguese part, and I thought, well, probably the problem started when, because normally this oil pumps are not this bad, okay? This is the first one that I see that is like this. Probably started when someone raised the engine over here from this area, then the oil pickup tube is right over there, and the certain amount of distance that you have between the bottom of the oil pump, of the oil sump, and the pickup tube over here. Normally, yes, you have always some debris on the bottom side of this oil pans. It is just where it is, and probably because it bent, it was forced to suck up that gunk that is on the inside of the oil pan still. So probably that was when problem started. Nevertheless, we have to address that and try to do the best that we can. You can overdo it. There is no problem with that. I actually did that on my 33 to gain a little bit of a more rounded area, so I can have more space for debris, for the natural debris, if I can call it so. In here I will try to reach it, but it is not easy because I have this windy tray over here, or the splash guard, and I'll try to reach it without damaging anything. I'm afraid I'm creating here an issue, but I can deal with that. And I am being able to bend this out. If you want to, at the end, do a pass of spray paint, you can do it, or have it powder coated. This oil sump is like Phoebe, surprisingly bendy. So she said. I can do the final polish, if you can call it that, and call it a day. Like I said, I like to give it a dome, so if it will go back in, it will go at least straight as it was from factory. So give it a little bit of a cushion, so if anything fails, we have that fail safe. Maybe here on this area I would do a little bit of a paint job, so I can I do not have the exact color for this, or the tone,
So a little bit more to go. Here on the washer, I did use a modern one, the one that uses, like the multi-jet engines, that use the rubber on the inside. The rubber is built in onto the seal gasket over there, the seal washer, and in that way it will not leak. It is common to leak on these ones. To insert the sump, I will use a cork gasket. With that, we have to use a very special product. It seems like honey almost, and you have to apply that product on both surfaces, on here on the engine and on the oil sump. Okay, as you can see over here, the oil sump already all demangled, and you also can see here still the markings of the jack. So that jack did made a mess here on the oil pump. Still have some debris I have to remove. Now everything is cleaned up, all of the gunk is out. Okay, and now here on this surface I will use that paste, and then I will put, it is easier like this, I will put here the new gasket, and on top of the gasket I will apply the product again. Okay, I could use the product directly onto the engine block, but it is upside down work and it is not very easy to do. So in this way it is also possible to do so. Okay, make sure the holes all line up, especially when you use auto-dock parts. Sometimes they do not, because they are rejected parts. Okay, in this case I think I can have a good fitment. Not perfect, but good. Okay,
And finally, it is doable with the exhaust on, but oh man, not very pretty. Good thing about this paste is you do not have to touch it up, even if it is a little bit smudged. No worries, okay? And please, oh please, do not use RTV. About the tightening of the oil sump is, I think around 5 newtons, 5 to 8, but I'd like to do it by feel. And a few days or a few weeks after driving the car, you should check out the tightening again to readjust the tightening, okay? As soon as you tighten the oil sump, you can go ahead and put the oil in. No need for a waiting time for the drying of the paste, because the paste will not dry at all, or should not. Be careful not to confuse the washers. These are special anti-slip washers, and this anti-slip area should be facing the bolt like this, okay? These ones go to the oil sump, and these ones go to the flywheel guard over here. Only the last two screws to remove. They are behind the exhaust manifold here. One is over there. The other one, you cannot see it from here, is behind that. I had this manifold out in the other episodes. Yeah. And it could have been much more easier to take out those bolts and nuts than now. But I think I can take him out without removing anything. I think I will try. And I will see if I have to raise the engine or remove the steering rack to see if you can get out this oil pan. And here it is. All the bolts and nuts are off. I have some problems here with this one bolt. It was stuck with back and forth tightening and untightening. I was able to take it out without breaking it. Yay, very good. All around it's all off. I think this sump already has some more silicone. Oh my god, more silicone, I think, because the bolts came out with a little bit of silicone. I think I have to remove it with some shock, but I will try to be gentle because I don't have a lot of leverage on this position. And let's see if I have to raise the engine. I think I do. So yes, I have to raise the engine. I put a piece of wood behind the engine mount in here, and in here I put my lever, a lever behind the engine mount. To take out the oil sump, I use this lever. I did not have to use the hammer. Do not worry. And behold, it's out. Okay, it is out. It's very easy to take out the oil sump as long as you raise the engine. Already did a video how to remove this oil sump on the car because of here this issue with the cross member. I did this video to access here the oil sump to see what was on the inside, but mainly to repair here the threading on here. It's already done. And that is how I discovered that I had two bent conrods, because I took advantage of not having the oil sump in place to take out the caps and see the condition of the main bearings and the bearings for the conrods. And that's how I discovered I had that issue. Okay, so now here, tap here onto the sump. All the bolts are out, as I can see. So a lot of debris, as you can imagine, because of the mix with oil and the coolant. Nothing too special about it. What is this? Broken O-ring or glue. Or glue. And the tip of the sensor is also here. This is not an issue, okay? Oil pump is held down with 3 bolts, 13mm head bolts, nothing too special about this. Underneath here you will find a O-ring, also will be replaced, obviously. On this glued oil sumps, sometimes we have to do some strange things to take them out. Normally with a bang they will come out, but this one seems not to be cooperating, so I will try to open it up instead. These are very nasty jobs. Take it easy, okay? Take it slow. Much better. Then you hear the sound. It sounds good. Sounds like it's moving. Okay. In order to remove here the oil sump, you have to take out this bracket. It's not that difficult. It's just 4 13mm head bolts over here, one here, there, and there, and 2 15s, one through here, another one through there behind. Okay, and then you take out all of the bolts for the oil sump and you remove it like I showed you earlier. And taking out the oil sump, you now have the first clue for what happened. This is a bit common on these engines. Once the chain starts to rattle, the chain will chew up here the guide. This is part of the guide. As you can see, before it breaks, it has a lot of scratch marks. A lot, right there on that area.
Now you have to take out here this bolt, this long bolt that goes across here the oil sump, and you do not need to take out here this support, but I will remove it anyway because I have to prepare the engine for sale. Okay, but on the car you do not need to do it. Oh man, this fast? We already figured out what killed the engine. Yay, RTV paradise. Here on the sump is awful. The sump is full with this. Completely full. Just look at that. So much RTV. So much. All the way. Yeah, that kills an engine.
To take out the oil pan, many of you will scream at me because I'm doing this with impact gun. Remember one simple thing, I'm doing the disassemble of the screws. This will not harm the screws in any way, okay? And I'm being careful, of course. To do the assembly, I will not do that. And one bolt is missing, guess why? I don't know, because it is a 7mm one, not a 6 or a 8. To take out the oil pan, do it like this. You will not damage at all the oil pan, and only use a lever or a screwdriver once the sound of it is hollow, once the glue gave up. This oil pan is glued down. It does not have a gasket like the 75. Okay, and for my surprise, ta-da! What the hell? On a new engine. This is the confirmation of the problem with the pistons. Here on the intake pipe for the oil, hair and glue, on there the seals are not present, just RTV and not full of it in any way.
That purge over there is for the oil filter. Okay, you put a tube over there to a tray and take out the oil filter. We will do that in a moment, okay, after removing here the oil sump. Already removed the oil before this. Then while I have a tray on the ground because of the drips of the oil, I will replace the oil filter. You can do it previous of that, okay? I have over here how many volts? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 millimeter head, 6 millimeter threading, rosca de 6. Put this to a side. Maybe with a screwdriver can do this better. Plug to a side. $10mm internal hex bolt. Oh, Jesus. A Torx 45 here on the starter. Now the main bolts of the oil sump. Now for the oil sump, like the other Alfa Romeo cars, it is a Rebay 9, the number of the wrench. Just undo all of them all around, but over here next to the steering box it will be a little bit more difficult to do. I'll show you in a minute. On the front of the engine, or on the timing belt side, you have 7 Rebay number 7. Yes, 7. 2 bolts over here, Rebay number 7, on here and over there. And this side over here, the same thing. You need a very, very long Rebay. I do have 5mm hex with a ball point. Maybe it will be enough to do it. Okay, and over there. I'll show you in a minute. Next one to do that one. There is a 7 Rebay. Here on the middle you have nothing, I believe. And then you have on the other hole down there you have a Rebay. Okay, the 7mm one. Not millimeter, the number 7 one.
Let's try with a ballpoint 5mm head. Having this the factory spec tightening, it should be easy to remove. In the worst case scenario, if you tighten this too much and damage the thread, yes, you have to remove the gearbox. And yes, you also have a rebay, a long one, with a sphere tip to reach this. Okay. Now the bolt may be stuck up there because of the RTV. This oil pan does not use any gasket, it uses RTV, so sometimes this happens. I will leave it there because I want to make sure, or meanwhile, while I take out here the oil sump, that I know where the bolt falls, because if it falls inside of the gearbox area, I have to reach it, of course. Well, to summarize, I have to know where the bolt is. Now to take out here the oil sump, use a large piece of wood and a hammer, okay? Like I already showed you here on the channel. Probably just use a bolt to secure it. Sometimes the factory glue is not very strong. The wood is breaking. That's what you want to do here, right? Not being possible to do with a lot of well, I do have space, but I am on the floor. Can't seem to get the hang of it. Okay, it is loose, I believe. You can use a screwdriver, a big one, or a lever to lever it out, but be careful when doing that because you do not want to damage the surface of the block or the sump, for that matter. Now I have a tray to catch anything that may fall off of the oil sump, of course. With the screwdriver. What else is in here? I feel something. Not just glue now. Make it forward. Ok, foi para a frente. Ok. Just now the source of the thing. This is the lip seal that you have between the oil pump and the oil sump. The oil sump on the inside, I'll show you in a minute, has the pickup tube incorporated, okay? And as you can see, this lip seal is completely stiff. And with that, it lets the oil, well, what happens is it instead of sucking oil through the pickup tube, it sucks air through this area over here. Even if no light is on, it can do that. Okay, because you have a lower threshold where the light will turn on. Make sure not to scratch anything. Now with this you can apply here the new seal or a modified seal or whatever you want to do, okay? This is the same for the Giuliettas, the 1750, the 2 liter, the Giulietta 1.6, the diesel ones, okay? This work is similar for all of those engines. And so the seal works over here on this area, and this is the pickup tube that is going to the oil sump. I will now disassemble here this windage tray over here, take it out, clean everything very well, degrease everything very well, and reassemble everything again, okay, with the new seal.
And here you have the new seal over here, this with the blue cap over here, and you have the old one. If you take out the cap, the protective cap, you can see the lip is much more proud as it is new, and it will squish against the oil sump over there that is prepared already. Everything is clean and is ready to go in, so you just want to put in this new seal or the modified one, whatever you can do, but please avoid those cheap ones because you will regret it. Now through the night the oil messes up a little bit the cleaning job, and you must do a little bit of a cleanup right before putting in the oil sump. Just taking out here the most of it, not to drip on my face again. Okay, now the seal, easy to forget. Okay, just by hand like this. A little bit of a degreaser. I like to put it on a rag and do it like so. The RTV really does not like oil when it's not cured, so make sure everything is very degreased. Prepare yourself a bolt or two to secure the oil sump once it is in place. At this stage, if you have a friend to help you out with this, it will be for the best. If you do not, oh well. Maybe not. Now I'm really I want to go up with the oil sump and try to fit it in the gearbox area. It will be a little bit shaky, but yeah, like so. Now the bolt. If you have doubts, remove again the oil sump, touch up the RTV and go again. Now just snug enough and put another one on the other side. If he wants to, try another hole. Giggity. Now I noticed one of the holes is the master one. It's the one that aligns the oil sump. That's why I had to use another drill bit to clean it. So I want to locate that. I think it's this one over here, or that one, whatever it may be, and try to locate the oil sump and put these two bolts over here on the bottom side, for example. So locate all of the bolts, start to tighten them one bit at a time. Try to see also the spillage of the RTV. It must be uniform, okay? And go from there, okay? Then tighten up the bolts. I believe I can do 20 over here, for example, on these ones, and 10 on the smaller ones. These bottom ones, I don't know, 40, something like that, okay? Important thing is the oil sump to be correctly aligned to the engine in the gearbox at the same time, and not to be crooked or making a weird force on something, or cross-threading any bolts or screws. Nothing like that, okay? Again, with the seal, it is really your choice to use what you want. Cannot recommend you on that. Just really do what's best and try to avoid those cheap ones. I already saw them several times on my workshop, on my old boss workshop, and they were very bad. Some of them did not even fit, and most of them do not use Viton O-rings. They use normal rubber O-rings, which is also terrible. And again, imagine doing all of this with that bad parts, with those bad parts. I know that JTD Performance use a good quality one. Did not encounter
let's see with time if they are really that good. I hope so, I really do. They are an excellent company. Never worked with them, but from what I can see, they seem to be a very good company and dedicated as well. Now the cure time of the RTV really depends on the manufacturer of it. I like to wait 12 to 24 hours. I know some of the RTVs are ready 15 minutes later, but that are not cured for another 12 hours. So it can give you a little bit of a win to do a quick job. I did have problems with that in the past, even with those fast ones. So 12 hours will be, or 24, so I can have the reassurance that everything will be according to plan. Now just snug enough, just for the oil sump to come to the gearbox, and only then you can do all of the main bolts of the oil sump. And at the end I will do the smaller ones, or maybe now. You can use the 7 rebuy, or you can use the 5. The torquing is not immense, just 5, just 10 Newton meters. Just snug. Now through the hole of the starter, just snug. And the last bolt is through there, a bit complicated but not terrible. Very crucial, this movements over here. It will be interesting to see in the future if this bolt is missing. Dropped it. Oh shit. Hooray! I was able to take out the bolt without taking out the oil sump again. Oh my god. Let me use here this method with the paper. If it works on this socket. Let's try like this, okay? In the hole. Nice. You have to do a little bit of force because you have to pass through the bolt between this sheet metal over here and the oil sump, and that will definitely move out the bolt. So just a little bit. Okay, now the oil sump itself, if I can find tools. Use whatever pattern you like. Just at the end, check all of them to see if they are correct. This is a 9 rebay socket. Over here it is a 10 millimeter hex bolt. And finally do the 7 rib bolts. Okay, now you can do the starter. Make sure the dowel, the guide is over there. If you need videos for starters, I have them down on the description. First I have to put the cover in. Make sure not to damage the RTV. And of course, if you have to wait a bit, the 12 hours to 24 hours for the RTV to dry up, obviously the oil to the engine will not go in until that time. At least for my understanding, okay? Now the starter. I guess you can do it afterwards too. I'm seeing that now. With this movement here of removing again the starter and put it back on the hole, the guide, the dowel guide may have shifted, so pay very close attention to that. Very important, really. Torque 45, just snug for now. Top bolt, easy to do with a long extension, and the bottom one. About 20 Newton meters. Do not forget your electrical connections, and not forget that the wiring goes through this cover. Good thing that the cover can be removed without taking out the starter. Let's try like this. Come on, baby. Yeah. It clicks, and it clicks, and it clicks. Now, yeah. Ah! Not good. Not good. Just learning as I go along. Don't forget here the signal wire for the starter.